Now, I happen to know there's only about 500 gallons of water left in the storage tank. And I definitely want to get this out because this will be 120 approximately. And I want the tanks to be as empty as possible. I definitely want to get this out because this will be 120 approximately. And I want the tanks to be as empty as possible just in case we do get any of this rain they're promising us. Whew. I'll stand here for a minute. Okay, this barrel is going to take 15-20 minutes to fill up. So what I'm going to do is start bringing out plants because that container is ready to be used, and I could probably use some of these other ones too. Basically, my watering system will work now because it's above the thing there. I'm going to throw away this. This was one of our insect cards. These are just yellow sticky traps. I got these from Arbico Organics, with whom I am not affiliated, but I am very pleased with their service and their products. Basically all it does is attract and stick bugs. 99% of these things are either gnats, thrips, or there's a moth. Most of these are flies. I don't like sticky traps in general. I don't use them in the garden because you can trap hummingbirds accidentally. That would be a terrible thing. But in the greenhouse, it's a good way to spot the fact that you have bugs. Just in case you don't happen to see them, they'll get stuck on here. But you don't want to get this stuff on your hands. It's very sticky. So I'm going to throw this into a bag so that it does not get stickiness all over me. We probably need to change up some of our UV resistant strapping up here. Gonna get the puppy back in the house and start bringing in plants. There's an old bottle of water that got left out here. Not gonna drink that. By the way, you should not drink water bottles that have been left in the sun. It leaches plastic out. So obviously, I am back in the greenhouse. And I was very excited because it was going to be quiet in here. It was going to be quiet in here because the fans are turned off. It's actually 70 degrees outside and totally overcast. But now it's 70 degrees outside and it's raining. Now, this is not a bad thing. We have had almost 1/4 inch of rain in the last 2 hours, which is awesome. That is the most amount of rain we've had since probably January or February. So this is the rain we've been needing for a long time, but maybe it would be better if it had not decided to do it right now. So I went inside and I brought out more tomatoes. These are, again, more leggy tomatoes that need to be strung up. I'm probably going to plant a couple of the plants in some single pots because they're so crazy. But I need to get the work done, even if it's really noisy in here. It's kind of like being in a little drum with lots of stuff banging on it. But that's okay. I'll take the rain. Nice and clean. Okay. Quite a bit quieter in here now. There is actually a method to my madness with the plantings. I have a bunch of very scraggly plants which have been living in the dining room way too long, and they're just really leggy. So I'm planting them down. In some cases I'm planting 2 in a pot, and we're going to see how they do. That's my theory of life. Some of these lower branches are not healthy, and some of them are going to go away. Some of these were against the window, which is never a good plan. So, and briefly we wound up with somebody in there who was chewing on leaves. So, take off a couple of those too. Got a caterpillar in there. You get a moth in the house, the next thing you know, you've got a caterpillar somewhere. Never fun. Anyway, so I have more plants in the house, but most of the ones that need to be planted out first are out here. The ones I'm putting down at this end are Amanda Orange They were seeds that were a gift from a friend CB. It's CB's garden and greenhouse, or greenhouse and garden. I can never remember which is which. Anyway, he's got an awesome setup. So he's in North Carolina. And he gave us the seeds for these, and we've grown them for several years in a row. They are more susceptible to blight than most of the things that we grow. So what I do is I put them downwind. Now that may sound funny, but it worked last year. And it means that when this plant gets blight, because it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, it's downwind. So that means the blight spores will tend to stay downwind from the rest of it. At least that's the theory. It seemed to work last year. So we're going with that again this year. Because, you know, sometimes you just have to have a theory and work it out. So this is the only orange beefsteak style tomato that we grow. I am generally not a fan of orange tomatoes or other weird colored tomatoes. I like good old-fashioned red tomatoes. And we found that this one was so good that we were willing to break all of our normal rules, because this makes the most amazing tomato sandwiches ever. So, yeah. See if I can get this to hold up just a little straighter. Because they're so lanky, there's not a lot to work with in terms of good ways to support it right now. That's a little better. Anyway, so I'm going to plant the Amanda oranges down here. I still have a couple in the house and a couple of other tomatoes in the house, and we're just going to wing this. Usually I have everything mapped out before I do it. Not this time. That's the best way to put it, not this time. So we have one Amanda orange here that's not lanky at all, which was kind of unusual, I thought. But it must have just been its location on the windowsill that get it perfectly. So I'm not going to complain, I'm going to be thrilled, and I'm going to just go with it. That's the best way to say it. This plant grew weirdly. It has almost no deep roots, which doesn't make any sense. Anyway, I don't pretend to know what was going on this year, so I'm just going to smile, nod, and say, okay. And see what we can do to make everybody happy. I'm very pleased to say that the plants I planted this morning are already totally perked up. They're looking very happy with life, the universe, and everything, which is great. It means I was able to get them enough water to keep them happy. We obviously have a lot going on in here in terms of still organizing. Oh, I got the hiccups now. Jeez. And still in terms of still organizing things, but that's okay. We're getting there. There we go. So this guy is happy. And his buddy next door is happy. I'm going to throw away this soil because I don't know what's going on with it. It just like the plant didn't grow down into it. So we'll get rid of that. I don't know whether it was the soggy factor or what it was, but I don't want any random things like that kept around here. And I don't want it being reused in case it's actually something wrong with the soil.